In 2021, Herpa has actually added an unusual amount of new airlines to their portfolio. One of them is this little obscure Russian airline known as Azimuth. And with that, hello and welcome to a new episode of Review, where we today will take a closer look at a Sukhoi SSJ-100 of Azimuth. At the front of the box we have a cutout so we can get a glimpse of the aircraft model inside, and on top of the box we have the Azimuth branding. Then on the back side of the box we unfortunately have the dreadful box design of Herpa Wings with another cutout. So the only thing that really is worth highlighting here is the fact that this model is a limited edition. And here she is, the SSJ-100 of the Russian carrier Azimuth, and in their current standard livery. The airline was founded back in 2017 and currently operates 15 of these aircraft. Interestingly enough, the airline has also placed an order for 6 Airbus A220-300 to be delivered in the near future. So perhaps we will see another model from Herpa Wings at some point. But for now we focus on this aircraft model, and we of course want to take a closer look to see what it actually has to offer. And as always, we start our tour around the aircraft model with a look at the tail section, where we on the vertical stabilizer find the Azimuth color scheme. On the fuselage we then have the full registration code of the aircraft, the flag of the Russian Federation, and the aircraft type specification, as well as some detailing around the APU exhaust towards the very tail of the aircraft. At the front of the aircraft and across the fuselage we then find the Azimuth branding once more, and also the writing of Azimuth, one time in Cyrillic language and on the other side of the aircraft in English writing. Then underneath the cockpit windows we also have the name of the aircraft. In this case the aircraft is named after the Russian river of Volga. The cockpit section itself, well, that offers us the cockpit windows and the window wipers, and that's all we get here. So while the amount of printed details definitely is disappointing here, what I think Herpa does well is actually the shape of the cockpit section. So the mold they're using for the SSJ-100, that is actually quite good. Then we can move on to the engine nacelles, which have been kept in this orange color corresponding to the color scheme of the airline, and also have the silver leading edge as well as the azimuth.aero web address printed on, but also here no additional details in the print. The physical detailing itself is actually pretty decent, especially considering how tiny these engines actually are. From the engines we can move on to the wings, which we should definitely also take a closer look at, starting over the top side, where we can see the different flap slats and spoilers have been carved out, although that could definitely have been much more pronounced. The underside offers us some more physical detailing and the full registration code printed on across both wings. If we then move on to the landing gear, we can see that this is the standard landing gear that Herpa uses for all their SSJ-100 models. And in this case it's actually a good thing, because overall it actually looks pretty decent. The only thing I'm missing here are some printed details around the front landing gear. And then last but not least, we do also have the doors to the cargo compartments printed on here at the back of the aircraft, and also here at the front of the aircraft. So there we have it, the Sukhoi Superjet SSJ-100 in the current standard livery of Azimuth Airlines from Herpa Wings in scale 1 to 500. And what can we say about the aircraft model? While I often criticize Herpa for their poor A320s that often look more like toys rather than true to scale die-cast models, I must say that Herpa is doing a rather good job with the SSJ-100. In my opinion, Herpa has done a really good job with the mold of the SSJ-100, and also details like, for example, the landing gear. I think Herpa has pulled off very nicely. When we look at the print quality, there's also very little that can be critiqued. The only thing I really am missing are some details. It is especially disappointing that we have no static ports or sensors. But in Herpa's defense, this model was originally intended to be in the 01/02/2021 release batch. That was the last release batch before Herpa had promised to add such details as a standard. Anyway, since the model was eventually released in September 2021, and with a retail price set at 27 euros, it would definitely have been warranted, and at least a nice touch from Herpa Wings to add such details anyways. But despite that, I would still say that it is a nice aircraft model, and I'm really happy that Herpa has once again added a new airline to their portfolio. So I would say yes, it is worth having in one's collection, and that despite the fact that this is the way the aircraft arrived at my home. Of course, with proper Herpa quality control, such things would not happen. Now with that, we have reached the end of today's episode. If you have enjoyed this video, then don't forget to leave a like, that would be very much appreciated. And of course, if you are new around here, why not hit subscribe? That would be absolutely awesome. With that, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.